Hello and welcome to the Complete Lakers podcast. I'm Anthony Wilson, recording from Los Angeles, California. Joining me tonight are my two co-hosts, David Galvez and Jason Big Mitch Mitchell. How you fellas doing tonight?
Doing well, thank you.
Chilling, chilling.
All right. So the Lakers were in Detroit tonight, riding a nine-game win streak. That win streak came to an end.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
they fell to the Pistons 113 to 110. This is the Pistons team playing without Cade Cunningham, who has a collapsed lung. He's going to miss an extended period of time. Pistons were able to come out and get the W. Um, the Lakers. So we recorded last week. That was right. That was the same night of the first Houston game. Since then, we won in Houston again. An epic victory in Miami the next night. Two nights later, the Luke Kennard buzzer, well, not quite buzzer beater, but game winner against the Magic. And then tonight, they weren't able to continue the streak against the against the Pistons. So it was fun while it lasted. Now I got a few easy games coming up, you would think, before they finish the month against the Cavaliers. Mitch, I mean, in the last week, the highs have been so high during this stretch. If you want to start with what happened tonight, or you want to just recap the last week in general, I'll leave it up to you.
Um, yeah, I guess I'll just kind of go through the week. Man, such a great week in Lakerland. So the streak ended up getting to 9 in a row. We beat Houston again in in another exhibition. I kind of missed that game. I just kind of saw like the last 30 seconds. So um, caught the Miami game. The Miami game. Oh man, I mean, it's Miami. They're not great, but it was a back-to-back. The Lakers ended up getting into Miami. I think they said like 5 a.m. local time or something like that, something stupid like that, right? Like 5 a.m. local time. So they kind of they kind of sleptwalked through the first half, right? And then they picked it up in the second half. But the whole game, my boy, my goat, Luka was cooking the whole game. It's as if it's as if Luka has his fingers on the pulse of Lakers Nation, and he knew that we needed a big game from him against the hated Bam Adebayo. Oh man, Luka. What I mean, that game alone, uh, you know, in the eyes of Lakers Nation, has made Luka the MVP of the season for sure. It's like he it's like he went out there, started balling um, in memory of Kobe's legacy. Um, so Luka goes out there, finishes with a 60 piece. His He ties his second highest scoring game ever. Obviously, he had the 73-point game, and then he had another 60-point game. So now he's got two 60s. Um, a little weird stat, I guess. He scored his 60th point with 14.8 seconds, and that's the exact timestamp that Kobe scored his 60th point in his last game, that's kind of, like I said, that's wow right there. Um, um, and then I guess a side note to that game is stupid Bam was like, oh, after the game, he's like, oh yeah, it's not that easy to get 80. Like, bro, please, nobody's impressed with your 80, bro. Like everybody in the comments of the video that got posted was like, yeah, okay, like shut up, bro. Like, please. So it's good to see the comments keeping it real. After select couple media members. Oh, we should celebrate. No, not celebrating that stupid mockery. Um, and then we move on to Saturday, the Orlando game. that was a that was an interesting game. We had the whole setup. March Madness is going on in full swing, so we set up one TV with March Madness games, and then on the big TV we had the Laker game going, and I mean, wow, um, Rob Pelinka. I mean, listen, I gotta you gotta applaud him for bringing in Luke Kennard for Gabe. Think about that. We traded Gabe Vincent for Luke Kennard, who's having another 50, 40, 90 season. And he's leading the league in 3-point percentage. I think I saw somewhere a while ago that he pretty much ever since he came to Lakers, he single-handedly has made us one of the best 3-point percentage shooting teams in the league since he got here. So I mean, he's literally exactly what we needed. Somebody who can actually make threes. Gets to Hollywood, the lights shine on him, and he doesn't forget his name, doesn't forget how to tie his shoelaces, can still shoot the three. Um, Luke Kennard with the big game winner. Um, and also shout out to JJ Redick for drawing up two plays at the end of the game that, the first play, LeBron gets fouled. I don't know how the hell they missed that call, but it ended up working out in our favor. JJ Redick throws up another good play. Marcus Smart finds Luke Kennard wide open, you know, lines the ball up perfectly, splash down, Lakers win, game winner. So amazing. Um, then we get to tonight. Um, Detroit's one of those. Um, they are literally a defensive team, right? They dirtied up the game so much tonight. They they picked up full court. I don't think I've seen another team do that outside of them. You know what I mean? So Detroit, they did a number on us defensively without Kate Cunningham. So yeah, I guess kudos to them. I don't think we'll see another team that has the defensive pressure that they have. So the streak comes to an end, but we get the Pacers next. So I like our chances against the Pacers. But it was a good winning streak. We showed a lot of good things.
Right. So we're gonna take our first break, and then when we come back, we'll get Galvin's thoughts on the end of the Lakers streak. All right, we're back. Um, Galvis, uh, what is your take on the streak ending and just how exciting the last week was in Lakers basketball before tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a while since probably since the bubble that we had this sort of momentum and this sort of like just positive vibes around the team. Um, so I know they lost against Denver back on March 5th, but they had won three in a row back to then. So they're really, I know we're focusing a lot on the 9 game winning streak, but they're
Hmm.
really, you know, like really, I think they're like 12-2 in their last 14 games. And if I were to tell you, and this is how you could tell when things are really going in the right direction, right? So the win streak started. I'll just go down real quick. It was Indiana, New York, Minnesota, Chicago, Denver, Houston twice on the road, Miami on the road, Orlando on the road, and then trap game with Detroit today with no Kate Cunningham. If we were to tell you, hey, the Lakers are going to go 9-0 against those road teams, and they're going to lose their last game to Detroit, you would take it in a heartbeat. And then when the game finally against Detroit comes and you lose the game, you're actually pissed because it's a game we should have never lost. That's kind of a sign of, or a good sign for the team, where you're actually upset that you're losing these easy teams because there's such a good momentum. Um, but yeah, it's definitely. I feel like today was a trap game. They saw no Cade. And they probably thought it was going to be easy, and they had a chance to win at the end, but that guy hit like a nice little jumper, career high for I think it was 30 points. So kind of a
Hmm.
fluke game for him. Um, but yeah, man, single Luka is doing really well. Let's just hope for Laker fans' sakes he does not get child custody because the role that he's on is amazing, right? So you can't. He is literally right now the best player in the NBA. So I think if the Lakers can somehow stay in the top three seed, he has a fighting chance of being, you know, strongly considered. I mean, he's already MVP candidate. I don't think Wemby plays enough minutes to, you know, really be considered above Luka. Um, but yeah, definitely the Lakers headed in the right direction. I know we had said before about LeBron, where it's like, hey man, as long as LeBron just buys into being the third option on the team, you know, we're better with him than without him, as long as he understands that role. Um, and I know Mitch had mentioned Luke Kennard. If the Lakers can somehow win a ring this year, that trade for Luke Kennard for Gabe Vincent, it will be the greatest Laker trade since the Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown trade, right? I mean, well, I mean the AD trade was also pretty good, but in terms of like where we clearly robbed the other team, Luke Kennard is one of those players where,
Wait a second. What about the Luka trade?
oh my God, you're right. Well, it's actually not. I didn't mean it as the best trade. It's one of those like unsung
Mhm.
hero trades where like when we trade for Luke Kennard, we knew like, all right, cool, we're getting a great shooter, but I don't think we realized just how important this trade was. This is the kind of trade where Luke Kennard, he'll win you a game in the playoffs. Those games that we lost to Denver, where it was a 1-2 possession game and we got swept, and every game was a 1 or 2 possession. Luke Kennard will win us those games. Just him being on the court. Because now that you have Luka on the court, now that you gotta think like, oh shit, can we double Luka if that's gonna mean leaving Kennard wide open? You really can't defend Luka one on one either. So at this point right now, it's like pick your poison, and the Lakers are just um, they're just on the roll, man. And like Mitch said, shout out to JJ for pressing all the right buttons. I had a question though for you, Mitch. I know you have mentioned Bam, right? And
Yeah.
how he's hated. Now, this Kobe dropped 81 in what, in '06, right? So we were 18 at the time, right? 18, 19, give or take.
Hmm.
Um, so for us that we lived it, it's a lot different. Now, these Gen Z losers that kind of run the social media pages now, how do you like, and they were there to actually live, like, maybe they were like infants, so they really don't remember that
Hmm.
game. How do you think they're gonna see it? Like, though, because the reason why we're salty about it, one, because it's Kobe, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And two, because we lived that moment like live, and so we know how cheap Adebayo's 83-point game was compared to Kobe's. Do you think the Gen Zers feel like, or the younger generation feel the same way? Because they weren't there to like. It's one thing to go back and watch highlights. It's another thing to actually live it.
Yeah. Do they feel? Do I feel like they feel the same way about Bam's 83 or?
Yeah, like did they feel like Bam's 83 is cheap?
I think so. I was actually fighting somebody in the comments. Like there's a good chunk of people who don't think it's cheap. Like, but I think that's kind of goes to show like it's the sign of the times. It's the state of the game of basketball. That like there's no like respect and honor to the game. It's just like, okay, you know,
Stat padding.
stat padding. Like if we really want to like take a deep dive, um, now Luka 73 was legit, right? That was legit. But I remember watching like I think it was Booker 70. They were doing a lot of the same like just a lot of nonsense, trying to help Booker, get there. Um,
Mm,
so it's just
yeah.
it's
He
just
was
I feel
he
like
was
it's a
like I said before.
generational thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like so. All three of us are big wrestling fans, right? So if you
Yeah.
go, if, like a lot of people will say, the Attitude Era was overrated, right?
Whoa.
Like a lot of people say that in the comments, and they're saying that today's wrestling is better or
Oh
whatever,
gosh.
right?
Okay.
Now, now,
Right, right,
if
right.
you look at a talent standpoint, like how they wrestle,
Hmm.
maybe because but it's like these young kids, man, like they just try to, I guess, you know, they didn't live through the Attitude Era. So like
Not at all.
If you go back and watch YouTube highlights, then I guess you could say like, all right, maybe the wrestling itself today is more high flying, it's more,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
just crazy
More
nonsense. But
technical. Yeah, no, it's more technical
exactly.
for sure nowadays. For sure.
But they didn't live going through the hallways the day after Raw, and it was must watch TV doing the
Yeah.
demon circuit, doing the Stone
Yep.
Cold flip. Like I feel like that's kind of the same with Kobe thing. It's like
Yeah.
you guys weren't there to live it, so it feels different.
Yeah. It's definitely different. I know it, you know it. Like, but I mean, there's also a big chunk of people in the comments that I see now that like they know it too. Like, you see a lot of comments that, Kobe's 81 is better than Bam's quote unquote 83. Hell, there were people in the comments saying Luka's 60 was more impressive than Bam's,
Yeah.
quote unquote 83. So some people get it, but yeah, no, there's a lot of kids that just all they see is the number, all they see is the results, and they don't care about yeah, they don't care about how a person got there. But that's the difference.
He would have got more respect if they would have done the same thing and he stopped at 80. Like if he just got 80, he he wouldn't have had this backlash. Like,
Oh, for
you know,
sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, if he would have missed one of those, if he would have missed those free throws, man, yeah, he would have got mad love.
I can't think of an athlete. It's almost like I don't know if you guys know, but I mean, Roger Maris when he passed
mhm.
uh, Be- Ruth, right? Was it Ruth or yeah,
Hmm.
Ruth?
Yeah.
People hated Roger Maris for that. They were like, "Who the hell does this guy think he is?"
Yeah.
He Roger Maris, he break Babe Ruth's home run, single season home run
Or
record.
even when Barry Bonds broke Hank Aaron's record, it
Yeah.
was you know
People don't look at Bam like that. Like he should be doing that. You know.
yeah.
And then the way he did it was just, I think if he had scored a ethical 83, people would have been like, cool. Well, that was incredible. But it
I
was,
mean, we still would have hated because he passed Kobe,
yeah,
but
Hmm.
it would have just came from a hater standpoint.
right,
It
but
wouldn't have came
Yeah,
from a basketball. It wouldn't have came from a basketball
I
standpoint.
mean, it
exactly.
was unseemly though. It was 20 of
Yeah.
43, 7 of 22 from three, shot 43 free throws. I mean, what is that? You know. Um,
Yeah.
but okay. So guess what? It's time for another break, and then when we come back from
Hmm.
this break, I'm gonna get Mitch's thoughts on Luka's climb up the MVP ladder. All right, we're back. Um, Mitch, y'all was already talked about Luka's kind of rising up the MVP ladder. How do you feel about it? How high do you think he can realistically finish? I gave my rankings list, my ladder, um, my little solo episode. I don't remember what I had him, but I feel like if Shea To me, if Shea finishes and with enough games played, which he will, to me, it's a no-brainer that Shea should be the MVP. The average is 31, best team in the league, shoot 55% from the two guard position while scoring that many points is under. I don't know if Michael Jordan ever shot 55% for a whole season. So,
Mhm.
how do you feel about it though? Like, what? How would you do? You have a rankings list for MVP or like just like kind of a feel for it?
Um, I haven't, necessarily thought about ranking them seriously. So just off the top of my head, though, the five, I think the top five guys for MVP this season should be Luka, SGA. I think you got to throw in Wemby, Jalen Brown, and Cade Cunningham. So, you know, whatever order, whatever order you want to put them in, I think those are the five guys that should be in the mix. Those are the only five guys I think that should be in the running.
Wait, can you repeat that? It was Luca,
Luka,
SGA.
SGA, Wemby, Cade, and Jalen Brown.
No Joker?
Right.
He's averaging 28, 10, and third, almost 12 and a half.
I think they're too low of a seed. I think they're too low of a seed this season. Yeah, he's having an amazing season, but I think so. I mean, first of all, MVP is all about storylines, right? Like, so for Luca, you say he had the 60 piece. He's helped the Lakers. He's he's like top three in assists and rebounds, but he's also leading the league in scoring. Obviously he's recently had this 9 game win streak. His defense is much improved. He's like in the top 10 of charges drawn in the league, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
gonna say. I heard Ramona say
yeah,
top 10 in charges. He's
yeah,
he's led the league leading the league in steals in the second half of the season, and
jeez,
also
yeah,
JJ. She was saying that JJ says a lot. I forget who was saying it, but they were saying that JJ says a lot that how Luka analytically is the best on ball defender on the team. So the
yeah,
thing about it, if he's doing something now, on
yeah,
defense.
exactly.
I'm sure the weight loss has a
Oh,
lot to
I
do
mean,
with it.
for sure,
And
of
then,
course.
and then sometimes it's just your reputation that precedes you sometimes. It's
Oh,
like,
for
all
that
right, this
too.
guy, this guy, this guy sucks on defense, so that's all they see is, and then they'll probably show like two or three highlights of him getting blown by. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. See? And it's like, come on, dude. Everybody in the NBA gets blown by
that's that exactly.
twice,
Everybody,
two or three,
everybody gets
two
blown
or
by.
three times. Even Kawhi, who's been considered
Kawhi.
one of the best two-way players of this
Hell yeah.
generation, if not the best. He gets crossed up and gets blown by a few times every game as well. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like AD. Remember, AD was like it was just his reputation of just him always being hurt, and then sometimes he'll play
Well,
like I mean, it's not a reputation,
I
it's a fact,
was gonna say, yeah. I mean, listen, AD always
but
is always hurt, but he's
but
hurt right now.
yeah, um,
Um, yeah, no, I mean, MVP is all about storylines, right? That's Luka's storyline. He's got a strong one. He got a strong case, to finish off the season. SGA, I mean, you guys already rattled off the numbers, and they're the best team in the league. Um, Wemby's case, I saw Wemby's video. He was making his case. Um, he's Wemby, according to Wemby, you know, defense is 50% of the game, which is true. Defense is undervalued, which is true. And he says he affects the game on defense more than anybody in the league, which, I mean, it's probably true, right? Um,
and he's doing all
and
this playing under 30 minutes a game, which is
yeah,
crazy.
and they dominated the Thunder in 3 of those games that they played head to head. So that's Wemby's case, which that's a decent case as well. Uh, Cade, I mean, they're the best team in the East, aren't they? So I mean, that's Cade's case. Luka,
But
Wemby,
if he
SGA.
misses significant time, there's no way he's.
This is his first like big stretch missing though, isn't it?
How many games has he played,
Yeah.
Galvin?
But they said, let's see, he has played in
And while you're looking that up, I mean, and
61, 61. But
Oh yeah.
according
oh,
to
there you go.
Shams, but according to Shams, he might miss 1 week or he might miss 4 weeks. I
Damn,
don't think Detroit is
I thought it was
gonna.
1 to 2.
No, it could be a
Jeez.
few weeks. It just depends because they said like it's a lung thing, so you
Yeah,
really
yeah.
just there's no. Now, will the Pistons rush him back for kind of meaningless games?
Mm,
Um,
they shouldn't.
you know, it's kind of like let's see, they are. Let's see, they are 5 games above Boston in the loss column. So if they can play what 500 ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they beat the Lakers today. So,
The way they play defense, anything is really possible.
yeah. So there's what? There's 10 games left. They have a 5 game lead. So even if Boston wins 10 games in a row, I mean, Detroit would
Yeah,
just have to play 500 ball. There's no reason to bring them back.
Unless he
Um,
wants to get to 65 games, so his
unless,
season can
yeah.
be
But I mean,
be
commemorated.
in
I guess
contention.
yeah. What the fuck is even a collapsed lung?
How does that even happen?
I just wanted to say,
Crazy.
yeah. So when I did my rankings, I had Joker outside my top five as well. I had him six, I think. After the same five Mitch had: Shea, Cade, Luca, Jalen, and Wemby. You know,
Yep.
But is Joker? We're just used to the greatness, and it's kind of like, all right, we're just used to
Um,
you. Just
no, I think the team success plays. I mean, for me at least, team success plays a big role in that too. And right now they're sitting in, what are they?
because they're
Are they
only
in
they're
six?
only two they're only 2 games behind the Lakers in the loss column.
True,
So
it's
but
just been
now
an
we beat them.
it's been an
We won the season series though, head to head though. That's the thing
yeah,
too. So
it's
I think that plays a part in it too.
it's been an uneven. See, he got hurt and he came back.
That too.
They've had
Yeah.
so many injuries. I mean, Aaron
Yeah.
Gordon,
Well, that's
Cam
true.
Johnson, Valanciunas, and they just haven't been able to really get in sync. And they were kind of playing well without him. And then he comes back, and they were like losing, and they just kind of it just hasn't felt like the other Joker MVP seasons, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I
yeah, the
mean,
stats are there, but
yeah, yeah, like you said, the stats are there, definitely there. He's still the best. He's still the best center in the league. Wimby's not
over.
there yet. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
MVP isn't about who's the best player necessarily.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
For the Lakers'
otherwise,
sake,
Kobe would have more than one.
yeah. For the Lakers' sake, we just gotta hope the voters don't want to vote SGA back to back, and they
Who
think
could?
Wendy's just not that
Who do you
young, and they
think?
just give it a look.
If it's not SGA, who do you think they would try to give it to?
I think they would
Mm,
probably try to give it to Luca if Cade doesn't get it.
yeah.
I think Cade would
Well,
be number two behind Shea.
and the
You
media,
think
the media
Cade?
doesn't
Okay,
really, the media doesn't really fuck with Jalen Brown like that, right?
Yeah, you know.
not at all.
They don't,
Not at all.
so then it's kind of like the Kobe thing. There's like how are you the best player in the league for 10 years and you got one MVP to show for it?
Facts.
You know.
Can I just say,
Uh,
listen, I hate the Celtics with a burning passion, just as much as the next, just as much as the next Laker fan. But yeah, listen, Jalen Brown has been balling. The expectations for the Celtics were what were they? They were like,
just
they
make
were
the
expected to
playoffs.
be
Just
yeah,
Just make the
like what
playoffs.
maybe even like a play-in team without Jason Tatum, right? Like
Yeah.
like a play-in team maybe, or maybe just like
hmm
middle of the road, and they're what?
hmm
They're the two seed in the East,
They're
right?
the two seed. They're 47 and 24.
Dude, come on,
Boston, they're one behind. They're one above New York in the loss column. But the fact that they're even in the second seed this late in the season is, you know,
it's due to Jalen
hmm
Brown's play carrying the Celtics through.
yeah.
Now, the only reason I'm willing to heap praise upon this Celtic is because my praise is steeped in hate. Because the only thing I hate more than the Celtics is that damn ugly ass Jason Tatum. My goodness, that man ugly, and he's a born hater. The only reason he rushed back. Now, this is just what I heard. Did I hear it from the voices in my head? I don't know, but
I
maybe.
know where you, I know where you're
But
getting this.
hey, what I heard was, he rushed back. He saw all this Jalen Brown MVP love, and he was like, you know what? I gotta rush back.
Mm.
I can't just keep sitting back and letting these fools think that, the team can, have all their sex without me. People gonna start to think that, you know what? Steve Kerr had it right. Maybe,
You
maybe I'm not that good.
you don't think that it was more of now he's been called corny
Cringe,
many times, right?
cringe, corny,
Cringe, corny.
lame, square.
You don't think that this whole like, hey, Kobe came back and the Mamba like he just wanted to prove that he's got that quote unquote Mamba mentality, and it
makes it
was more
even makes it even cornier.
right because what was it? Halliburton, I think injured his Achilles. What, like maybe a couple weeks?
Well, no,
What was it
because
like?
it had
Like
to
a
be
month later. It was like a
a month.
month later, right?
It
Because
had to be a month
Halliburton,
later because in the finals, in Game 7
yeah,
of the finals,
yeah. But
Jason
Halliburton's not
Tatum
even
did his
coming
in the
back.
first round. No,
For Halliburton, not even. I mean, are they even in the play? I don't even know if they're in the playoffs
no,
for him
they
to
are
come
like
back.
they are the worst team in the
Oh, they're
league.
the worst team. Okay, so there's no point in him coming back.
They're
Yeah.
literally the worst team. Yeah, there is no point
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Luckily for Jason Tatum, he has Jalen Brown, to
yeah.
carry the load and have an MVP level season.
Yeah.
So I do hope that Jalen Brown gets some MVP votes. I hope he finishes like top 5. That'll really stick it to Jason Tatum. Like, oh man, I know that'll just like piss him off. And you know
Yeah.
what it'll do? It'll make him play even worse because the only thing he's gonna do is go out there and jack
Of
up
course.
more threes. And he
Yeah.
can't shoot threes,
All right,
and he
listen.
still
Okay, I'm
takes
sorry.
them.
Listen. That's enough, Jason. We got to take a break. That's enough Tatum slander. We'll be
Hold
back.
on. Fuck Jason Tatum.
We'll be back right after this break.
Hold on. One more thing. He sucks.
Okay, we're back. Last segment. I know Mitch wanted to say something about the growing possibility that LeBron, you know, may possibly return to the Lakers after this season, provided he's willing to take a pay cut, which I think is a given. I don't think there's anywhere he'd be willing to go where he wouldn't have to take a pay cut. So with the Lakers playing so well, it's like where would he rather be than here? Mitch, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So I mean, when uh, LeBron took those games off for his, quote unquote elbow injury, it was glaringly obvious that Luka and Austin needed to be the focal point of the team, right? Like the Lakers were playing good. Rui steps in, he's playing amazing. Um, Aiden has like a renewed focus. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was just glaringly obvious that the team was doing, significantly better without LeBron on the floor. And the numbers speak for themselves, and the numbers have been floating around Twitter all season that with LeBron off the floor, the Lakers have played better. Now, this is obviously with LeBron, more so playing like LeBron. Obviously LeBron again. LeBron is, top five all time. You know what I mean? So he's gonna play the way he's been playing his whole career because that's what makes him LeBron. Unfortunately for this team, it hasn't worked. Um, so when he came back in that Bulls game, you could clearly see the shift, in his play. Um, I noticed it. I noticed it right off the bat. Like he gives the ball up so quick to Luka and AR. Like he literally lets them like do their thing, and he just kind of fills in the blanks and he fills in the gaps. And another shout out to LeBron for being even willing to entertain it and put it into action. Um, but now I have to go back on my word, on back on what I said, and it's like before I'm like, oh, whatever, buy him out, like whatever, But the fact that he's able to do this and fill in, I mean, how can we say no to a top five guy being our third option? You know what I mean? So, I'm, you know, I'm more than willing. Not that my opinion really matters, but I'm more than willing for LeBron to come back. As long as he takes a pay cut, um, because obviously Austin needs to get paid this summer.
Mm.
We can't sit here and pay LeBron another 50 million to be the third banana. I don't hate LeBron as much as most Kobe stands. I don't even hate LeBron. Yeah, so um, at all, right? So I can appreciate his greatness, unlike most Kobe stands. And a lot of people I feel like get that wrong. That that all us Kobe stands are just like blinded by hate for LeBron. We're not. I don't think. Um, it's a whole complicated thing that we can talk about another day. But yeah, I mean, as long I said it last week that now that LeBron is clearly bought in to being the third banana, hell, bring him back. As long as he takes a pay cut though. And so Ramona Shelburne was on, I don't know, but Bleacher Report reported that Ramona Shelburne said that the Lakers will be willing to bring LeBron as long as he is willing to take a pay cut. And honestly, I feel like somebody should give me money for calling this first last week. You know what I mean? So whoever's out there listening, give me money. I called this last week.
Hmm.
Ramona Shelburne, like, give me my love, give me my respect, give me my shout out, whatever you got to do. Get on the radio, mention my name, mention the podcast, all that stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, honestly, again, bottom line is, it makes sense to have a top five all time player, at the age of 41, be your third banana. Playing the way he's playing, you know, um, and with the athleticism and IQ that he still has, to this day in year 23, and even next year that he'll probably have in year 24. So I'm all in. I'm all for bringing LeBron back in this role at reduced pay, obviously.
I wonder if because LeBron is probably the smartest basketball player off the court as well currently.
Right,
And so he has probably the best agent in basketball. So
obviously.
I'm sure they're reaching out to teams and they're probably just telling them, like, just have him stay in LA. There's
Oh,
there's
oh,
nothing
oh,
there's nothing out there for him.
and
But
and really
re-
quick,
uh,
and really quick, I just wanted to say, sorry to cut you off, but before I forget, it's just, and I forgot after which game LeBron himself called us out And all of us people that was on the Twitter, and all us the fools that were in the group chat talking about get LeBron out of here. We're better off without him. And you know what? He showed us. And in that post game interview, he was like, ha, "You see, they're not better without me." And you know what, LeBron? You right. My bad. I'm sorry, LeBron. You right.
Yeah. Um, but what I was also going to say is LeBron, you know, let's be real. He's the player of his stature has gotten the most. I mean, him and Kobe, but like LeBron gets a lot of hate, right? So
Yeah.
if if they're somehow able to win a ring this year, no
Mm.
one will say, yeah, but his he has four rings or five, four, right? Four rings.
He has four, he'd have five.
So nobody will say, yeah, your fifth ring, you didn't earn it, you didn't deserve it. But if he goes to another team to chase a ring, that fifth ring will be so tainted that
Mm.
he knows his legacy will take a hit if he goes. And what other team is that much better than the Lakers? OKC, right?
Would he
Maybe,
fit in there though?
exactly. Maybe the Spurs. Maybe he wants to go back to the Eastern Conference because it's easier. But wherever he goes, he's gonna and they win. It'll be he ring chased his fifth ring. So I
Yeah.
feel like also that's probably why he would most definitely stay in LA. Um, you know, just for that purpose.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the show is over. Miss, do you have anything you'd like to say to an old friend of ours?
Yeah, Herbert was gonna come on and also praise LeBron for being, buying into being the third banana, but also make a very great case for Luka to be MVP. Um, Damn, it's crazy. Even on his birthday week, we just couldn't spare the time. Uh, so sorry, Herbert, we ran out of time.
Yeah, sorry, Herbert. All right, so before we get out of here, just a reminder to hit that subscribe button next to the
And
Complete
I
Sports
guess
Network.
happy
Subscribe to
early
the show on
birthday,
Twitter
you
and
ish.
Instagram at TC Pod Network. You can also send feedback and mailback questions to Complete Lakers Podcast at gmail.com.
As always, fuck Bam. Shout
We,
out to Shane Murray.
yes, and we
Hmm.
are
Is it
out.
is it is it more fuck Bam or fuck Tatum?
Oh, fuck Tatum for sure.
Hmm.
Always.